EVE Frontier is playable now, and I didn't see any starting guides on it, so I'm gonna make my own. Yes, if you want to get started in EVE Frontier, it's gonna be a longer video, but I'm gonna give you everything you need to get going, see how the Frontier is, and check out the new section of the universe. Not New Eden, no, something new. So if you want the best EVE Frontier guides, you came to the right place. Ladies and gentlemen, Loru here, digital advertiser, content creator, and EVE Frontier enjoyer. Yes, Frontier is beautiful. Now we're going to do a starter guide here. If you want to see the full play style of how this goes, we do have a live stream we just did where you can check out literally 6 hours of gameplay, so you can see just how good this Asus router does at flying in space. Excellent stuff. I love the recurve chat. It's fantastic. Before we get started, check in the description, because at the very tippity top, you're going to see a referral code link to play EVE Frontier. Now, I don't get any money from this. It's just like to tell them I sent you. I do get grace points. We're going to talk about grace points briefly. Many of you understand that EVE Frontier is an alpha, so the stuff you see here might not look how it is in the future. So then you might be thinking,
Loru, why should I play the game if it's just an alpha?
I will tell you, audience. EVE Frontier is doing this thing in between all of their cycle phases where they are tracking your grace. They are tracking your points. And these points will be used to see who does what in the coming days and years. And they have said they're going to be doing something with the grace points. We don't know yet. We don't know what it is, blah, blah, blah. So last time, I don't see my name here, but I did get like 9,000 points last time. I'm offended. Why am I not #1, devs? What the? So you'll keep these grace points. You can get these points by, like, you know, recruiting people, which is what that referral link does. It gives me some grace, and you could follow them and get that stuff done. They've said there's going to be some kind of prizes involved. Go play the game as much as you want to play it, but it is in alpha. So if you feel like, look, I really don't want to play this right now, I'd rather go play EVE Online, that's fine. Go do that. Use my referral link if and when you check out the game. So first of all, this game is not like EVE Online. This looks like EVE Online, but the moment you start playing it, it does not feel close to EVE Online at all. How the ships fly, how the ammo works, literally everything is different, and everything feels completely boing. I almost hit that thing right there. Occlusion's different. It's a survival game. That's what EVE Frontier is. So there's going to be a lot of crafting. You place these vehicles in, these structures in the middle of space, and you can craft various items. Use your refineries to take base ores and turn them into mats. You take those mats into your printers and print them into things, or you can go to your assembler to make modules. Yes, it feels like EVE some places, just like this. These are modules that we crafted, and you're also going to have your shipyard where you can craft bigger, better ships. You're noticing that you're not in a station. There's no NPC stations. They're very rare. There are, but they're very, very rare. Okay, so can you crash your ship? Yeah, you can bounce off stuff, and I don't know if it does damage, but there's occlusion is a thing in this game, and each one of these structures does a certain thing. We're going to cover that in just a sec. So a top level, what is EVE Frontier? It is a space survival game. It does not play like EVE Online does at all. My second tip for you, there's a tutorial in the top left-hand side of the screen. This is something that you should be checking out and starting. It will literally help you from the very beginning. Mine is telling me to go to my map and to go to other star systems. We're going to see about that. You can mouse over this eye to see even more about it. It will literally hold your hand as to how you can build all of this. So if you're looking at this going, Loru, what the heck? You have all this crazy stuff. Yeah, I just followed the tutorial. So that's my biggest tip for you. If you leave the video now, please like my video. I put a lot of work into this. Thank you very much. Okay, please. We want you to stay. Okay, so check out the tutorial and enjoy it and see what it has for you is my next tip for you. So let's talk about how to navigate around. You can't just zoom out. If I mouse wheel, what the heck? We're in this weird, like, radial view. What the heck is this? You can only zoom in. You can zoom into your ship as far as you can. You can actually press and hold V, and you'll get this, like, first person mode that kind of zooms in on stuff. This is going to be apparent when you do the skill shots that they've confirmed are in the game at some point. We just confirmed that on our last video. There will be, in EVE Online, there are bombs. This is the only skill shot in the game. There's more in EVE Frontier coming. So press and hold V to be able to kind of look towards stuff. This is important because see how there's my little station right here? If there's a ship behind this thing, I can't hit it. Unlike in EVE Online, it has to move this way and then I can hit the ship. Now I can move it and murder and do all the stuff too. So if there's somebody hiding behind the asteroid, which has happened to me, you can press V and kind of go, there's a little bit of a ship outline over there. They might be hiding there and waiting for you. There's a lot of LOS stuff going on in Eve Frontier. Correct, Amundo. Exactly. Fantastic. And now I can't move my mouse for some reason. Everything is going to be okay, chat. It's an alpha. We'll figure it out. So press and hold V to do that. Zoom out a maximum distance, and then zoom out again to go into the radial menu. This is like your grid menu. It shows everything on the grid. They've incorporated the tactical map from EVE Online into your actual gameplay. I stick in this quite a bit. I stay in this menu quite a bit. And if you zoom out even further, you go to the map, the solar system map. Okay, so they literally made mouse wheel into this thing, but you can zoom in, zoom out, and you use the map for various things. It gets really great, really fast. Let's check out this convoy debris really quick so I can do this. You can also press F1 to go back to your ship, F2 to go to the grid map, and F3 to go to the map. Okay, so thank you. That's what that is. Let's talk about navigating around. There's no bookmarks in Eve Frontier, and the closest thing I've found to it is my notepad. My notepad lets you save various things to them, and then you can right-click them and warp to them. This is the tech, y'all, that gets you the goodies. We're going to show it to you in just a sec. I'm going to show you how to navigate around using this, using our F2 in just a moment. So this is a salvageable area with a bunch of little salvaging things we can get. So we're going to click this ancient corpse, press E. You can loot it within 2K, I think, just kind of like an E. Just kind of like an Eve. We're going to keep looting these because these are actually very rare. I'm really glad that we got to find these because we're going to show you how to make some rarer items from this. So excellent. We were able to get all of the goodies. And now in order to see the rest of this grid, you have to press F2 to kind of look around and see what's up.
But Loru, why do they make that change? Why can't you just zoom out on your ship?
They want it to feel more personal. They want it to feel more like your ship is your ship. So, and I kind of like this, that it's a more tactical view of things. It forces you to think tactically with this kind of stuff, and I actually really, really like that. So now, if we go back to F3, where's my house? I know it's over here, I think. I know that, pretty sure that's it. Now look, I think it's actually one of these. I think it's one of these. So let me click into this. So we see 5 objects becomes a multiple object kind of thing. This one also has an L point, and I know that that's my home because I've gotten to know my solar system. In EVE Online, have you memorized the points on your solar system? Have you ever had to think about the position of the planets and all that stuff? Maybe not. In Frontier, it's everything. So I literally know this is my house. You show info on the thing, you drag and drop it into your notepad, and then you can align to warp to this without having to use other things. You'll notice that my ship is now warping to the point. We can now see it, and from the map, we will now go there. You can also press H. Pressing H will take open your personal assets. These are the things you saw me place on grid there. Right-click it and press warp to. I'm mid-warp now, that's why you can't see it. So, but by the way, sick warp animation. It looks like we're in between the atoms. Doesn't it look sick? I love this. Makes me happy. Okay, so that's how you can find points on the map and warp to them. Let's see if I can go find some carbon and show you all how to do this. Let's drop off our stuff in our chests here really fast. Let me organize this right here because it looks like this stuff kind of reset itself. And let's take this stuff and we'll put it into our chests and we'll go from there. Let me take these. You're getting a live look about how to play Frontier, not just some tips for you. Okay, so let's stop our ship and let's go warp to carbon fields. Before I go any further, there's a lot of resources in Eve Frontier as I spin around and the occlusion is doing its thing. Okay, please stop my ship. We're just spin me right round. Thy name is Frontier. I want you to look right here. This is your capacitor. Hear me. Some of you just tuned out. Don't do that. Listen, your capacitor comes back by fuel. Fuel is a consumable. You cannot be infinitely in space anymore. You have to get fuel. Fuel comes from carbon. It is the thing that is going to drive you. It is the #1 thing you are going to be getting a lot. And it's something you have to be constantly kind of going, am I out of carbon? Is there carbon? Can I find carbon? Where is the carbon? It's just how it is right now, chat. And Rocky, we're looking for carbon fields right now. Is there another convoy debris? We might actually go back for that. So carbon fields. What we're going to do is we're going to show info on this. I'm going to put it in my carbon and we're going to right click this and warp to it. I'm going to show you how to get there. Notice it took some capacitor to warp, and then we're going to use some fuel to fill back up that capacitor. Once we get back to warp, we'll hit this carbon fields and we're going to talk about that. Managing your fuel is important. We're going to talk about fuel in a little bit when we talk about how to jump from system to systems. Cynos and Eve are a typical travel method in Eve Frontier, and literally anybody can do it. Let's talk about it in just a sec. Okay, so we land on grid. There's a bunch of rogue drones and there's a lot of rogue drones. Those are the triangles, and a lot of carbon to mine. Let's go mine some stuff. We'll talk about ships in just a sec. Just give me a moment. Okay, so when you're on grid, you're going to be doing a lot of mining. You're going to have a lot of mining be a start, and I can tell you that it's one of the main reasons, I think, if you play, you should play with buddies. The game gets pretty grindy pretty fast, and I wanted to show you this because you can see how fast our capacitor goes out with double mining lasers on. So mining lasers do damage to NPCs. So if you have just mining lasers, don't fret, you can still use them to kill stuff. Constant nullsec. It's more like constant wormhole space. The local chat is empty. You won't get seen unless you talk. It's like that in every system, and while we're mining up this carbon, the systems are huge. The game is something like 4 to 5 times as big as EVE Online. Every single dot you see is a place you can travel to, and the game is in alpha. Every single dot you see is a place to go to. The map is large, and I'm excited to see what's on the other side of that horizon. Ladies and gentlemen, capacitor's almost empty. My stuff's almost full. We're going to see about that. Poggers is right. Let's talk about ores. Let's talk about ores. There's a bunch of different kinds of ore in the game, and you're going to learn how and what each ore does. Each ore breaks down into various things. Breaks down into carbuncle, water ice, I can't pronounce these names. These are the same name because depending on what refinery you put them in, it might output slightly different stuff. So you want to be aware that different refineries have different rates and different ways to grind stuff down. So we're going to use our base refinery once we go back there, just the Nubro one, and show you how to take this ore and refine it down into a more basic Mitsubishi materials. So let's turn this on at just one pulse and call it a day. Another thing about EVE Frontier that's pretty sick is, you know how in EVE Online we talk about server ticks? A server tick in EVE Online is like every second. A server tick in Frontier is like half a quarter second, whatever it is. You'll see click, click. It's just very fast on the it's done, it's done. I love the stillness server for just that reason. The Tranquility server has a slower server tick time. The stillness server, which is what the Frontier server is, way faster. You can do much faster stuff. PvP is faster. PvE is faster. Plan accordingly, ladies and gentlemen. Another tip for you. The layman among you will have seen how slow we just turned. The more ore, the more stuff you have in your inventory, the slower you go. Your agility goes down when you have a full tank in your inventory. That alone should make your eyes get a bit bigger. They've coded physics into the game. Pretty sick. We like that a lot. So there's some basic how to mine, how to do things on grid. Let's talk about refineries and printers and the like, and we'll show you how stuff goes. So let's just approach this guy. We'll turn on my afterburner. So those are very loud. Let me turn that off. Thank you very much. So my afterburner makes me go very fast. Now watch. Afterburner doesn't function like it's an EVE. There's no cycles. I turn it on, I turn it off. See? On, off. It's a toggleable thing. A fraction of a second is there. It's much different. I think it's better, honestly. It's going to be a great time. So let's talk about these buildings that are around here. We have a couple of them. Let's go to the tactical view so y'all can see some good stuff here. We have our portable storage. These are going to be, can I look at things? I think we can. So portable storage is our chests. You can press I, you can right click these, and you can set names just like in any other survival game. You have things that hold your stuff. Okay, so we'll talk about the smart storages in just a sec. That is Web3. Wait before you type your angry messages. It's still in the background. It's still fun. Relax. Sit back, enjoy the ride. Portable storages are where you store your basic stuff. Portable refineries are the next tier of item, and it lets you take your basic ores and put them into other things. So we can take carbuncle ore, whatever the heck. Click this guy, drag it in, press max, then go to start. This is going to make you water ice. Water ice is the main thing to make fuel. That's what we're after, baby. So in a minute 40, we are going to get 5,000 water ice and 500 carbon materials. That's going to be in there. So while that timer's going, do other things. The first principle of Frontier is manage your timers well. My refinery is doing stuff over there. Great. I'm going to go get my other refinery and see what else I can do with it. Do I have any other ore? I have a little bit, but really not enough so we can do stuff. I see we have a lot of salvage materials. Let's go to our refinery M. This is the next tier up refinery. You're going to notice a lot of different UI stuff on this side here. This is a smart unit. This unit is actually on the blockchain. This unit actually is your Web3 item, and all you have to do if you don't care about Web3 is this button right here. Offline, online. If you online it, it now takes power. Power comes from the network storage, network nodes. We're going to talk about network nodes and power in just a sec, but it comes from there. And if you don't care about Web3, just hear me, chat. You don't need to. There's a owner. I own this. This is the Eve wallet that they make for you. You don't even have to have your own crypto wallet. They make it for you. Okay, so you could just hit it, be done with it. Here's the ID of it on the blockchain, all this other stuff. Again, that's it. I never look at this part of the menu outside of offline or edit. I go to this side, I'm crafting stuff. You saw the 6-hour stream we did. I never looked at this section. People get freaked out by the Web3 stuff, but it's really not a big deal. It's an alpha, so it's going to be a little bit rough, but we're going to keep going. So we're in a refinery M. This one has more patterns than the portable refinery and has better stuff. You can see the salvage materials here give us these, and once you start playing Frontier, you're going to know this is your lifeblood right here. These alloys, this blue, orange, and black alloys are going to be the main thing that you go after. I've been stockpiling them, getting ready for our next Frontier stream, and these salvage materials are pretty rare. One of my next tips for you, go after these salvage materials if you can. They are rare. They will get you good stuff. Literally all the building blocks in Frontier are these 3 items right here. Go get them. That's the thing to do. This is the refineries. The portable refinery and the refinery M's will do that for you. There are bigger refineries. We'll talk about that in just a sec. The assembler is a more like early to mid game item. You can make every single module with this. All of them. All of them. Some great ones to start with are a better afterburner. Okay, better. This is very cheap to make, a thermal composite. You can make this for 1 orange goop. It's really easy to make. You can make more cutter rays. You can make more small cutting lasers. This is still pretty easy to do. 2.5 minutes to make. You can make more of these to have mining ships. One I really recommend you do is get a bulwark shield generator. We're going to show you how to fit stuff in just a sec. This is going to give you shield. The smart among you will have looked here. I don't have any armor or shields. It's not, I have some shields like an Eve and I don't have any modules making the better. I have 0 armor, 0 shields. In the Frontier, if you don't equip a shield module, you got none. If you don't equip an armor module, you got none. And on our fitting window, we don't got none. Instead, I have a cargo grid. Okay, so your low slot is going to where this is. The cargo grid 2 is another really good one to get rid of the game. Correct, totally, Hazak, yes, 1000%. We absolutely recommend that you get the cargo grid. If you make the cargo grid, and something else you can definitely do is you can get, let me do this. Let me turn this off, thank you. Let me get this for shields. It's not working. Low and hull restrictions. I don't know why this isn't working, chat. It's not filtering for it. Am I in the simulation? I am. You can fit it's an alpha, chat. We'll give them a benefit of the doubt, okay? So you can also do, is it browser? Nope, it's not it. You can also do shield down here to give you some shield. We'll talk about that a little bit later. The assembler is where you make or modules. Okay, click the wrenches. Yeah, that was probably it. Let me come back to this. Eller, you can keep this in. Let me come back to this. The wrenches. It's this hardware. This is it. This is what I needed. Thank you, Hazak. Changing the game. Excellent job, my friend. So you could put a shield in the lows. Shield generator, Tech 2, whatever it is, because that's the base one. And you can see, look, now we have shield. Look right here. Look right here, y'all. Okay. If I take this out, we have 0 HP. Put this on, we have some HP. Turn it on, we have some defense as well. That's the assembler. Use it to make those mods. Use cargo grid, afterburner, shield grid. You can make an armor one too, but I think the shield one's better for early game. Do what you want. I'm not your dad, okay? Shipyard will make you ships. You start with a Wend. Let's talk about ships right now. The Wend is a shuttle. Shuttles in Frontier actually do things. They have modules. They're actually there. They are the newbie ship. Okay, so you have modules and you will start in a Wend and you will use these to do combat damage and to mine your first stuff. This is the ship that you will begin in. It is a shuttle. You will then move up to corvettes. You will then get a reflex. A reflex is a corvette, not a frigate. We're not there yet. It's still a Corvette, and you're gonna fly in a Corvette for a long time, Chad, a long time. So the Reflex is the first ship you're really gonna start flying. It was the ship that we float around in the most. And why do these models look the same? They look very similar. It is in an alpha. This is what happens when you're in an alpha. Okay, so what's the difference between these 3 Corvettes? One of the biggest things that I can help you with. The Reflex is the first ship you're gonna make because it's the easiest to make. But it is also not necessarily the best ship, what you're gonna keep. A Reflex is gonna be your explorer ship once you hit kind of the mid game, because the Reflex can hold the most fuel. We're gonna talk about jumping in between systems at the end of this video. Okay, so it holds the most fuel. You're gonna be able to move around the most with the Reflex. The Recurve is, I recommend you make it as soon as you can. It's awesome. Is the ship that I'm flying the most right now. It has less fuel, 970, but because of how it's fit, you can do a lot of stuff with this ship, including the ship I'm flying right now is the Recurve, and we have a double mining laser with cargo grid. You can get a crap ton of ores. This is your like first mining ship. You could do other things with this. This is just what I recommend you do when you start the game out. Okay, so the next ship is going to be the hardest to make for you early game. It takes the most mats, a lot of mats, is the Reaver. The Reaver is going to be your combat ship. This is going to have a lot of armor to start. It has the most hull of any of the ships. The other ones have like 1250 and like 16, whatever it is. The Reaver has 1900 hull. Remember, you don't have shield or armor. So having another 300 hull means you win against people that don't run the Reaver, okay? So the Reaver also has a mid-tier fuel capacity. It's got middle of the pack, so you can explore with the ship. I think this one might be the best looking ship of all 3 Corvettes. And again, with these alpha textures, it still looks pretty cool. I like how these look. Really good stuff. That's the difference between the Corvettes. If you want something bigger, you have to build bigger shipyards. If you want to build bigger modules, you have to build bigger assemblers, I think. I think that might be the only assembler. If you want to refine bigger mats, you need bigger refineries. Where do you do that? You press B. B is in the building menu. It's going to take you here. It's going to snap to your network node. We're going to talk about that in just a sec. And down here, my face is kind of covering it. We're going to have to go into the multiverse chat. So, okay, when there's more of me, then the multiverse starts breaking and it gets very scary, very fast. We don't like it. Okay, so in this menu, you have your core builds. Everything in core is going to decay in a couple days, but it doesn't require power. Okay, glad y'all like that. For example, a portable refinery is going to decay in 3 days, maximum lifetime 3 days, and your portable storage, same. Portable storage, maximum lifetime is 3 days, 14 hours. They don't decay if they're near a network node. So your base is a network node. We're going to talk about that in just a sec. Give me a sec. I know it's a lot. Just give me a moment. You can bookmark the video. You can come back. There's timestamps for if you want to check it out. You'll be able to master the frontier. I believe in you. So your core items do not decay if they're on a network node, but if you can build a portable printer like right next to a ore node. Yeah. All the Eve players be thinking like Eve players. You can build this portable printer near some ore and then refine the mats on the belt. Yup. Did your brain just go, oh, okay, that's right, it did. Well done, ladies and gentlemen. The first thing you're going to be pushing towards is your network node. This takes quite a bit to make, 10 black, 10 circuits, and 10 composts. What I recommend you do is you stick with your recurve, the first one, not the recurve, the other one, the first one you get, then get a network node and build it. Where can you build a network node? You have to build it on an L point. You can't just build network nodes anywhere. These Lagrange points, whatever the heck they're called, you have to build them on an L point, must. These points, let me try to see if I can zoom out and give it to you, are dedicated base spots, so you can literally go to people's bases and see what they have. But be warned, notice you cannot necessarily waltz into someone's house unscathed. Yes, smart turrets are a thing, an automatic base turret that you can equip with any turret, meaning it's modular. So if you keep getting hit by somebody sniping you, you can fit long-range turrets. If you keep getting hit by a bunch of bombing squads, then you can fit something close range, whatever, and take them the heck out. They are expensive. They cost a foam. Those that know. Okay, building foams are expensive to get, okay? So this is my main thing. While you can go check out other people's base, do it with caution. Because maybe you'll become their food if they have a base defense. It's how I got a couple of my kills in the first cycle of this. Like AFK paw straps, literally that. Understand that occlusion in Frontier is a big deal. So people are literally positioning their base. Notice how I'm like nestled in between stuff. That's not just because stuff is, I like being close to things. It's because if somebody's attacking me, I can actually hide behind these. If somebody's over here and I'm over here, they can't shoot me because there's stuff in between. It plays completely differently than EVE Online. Okay? Okay. There's also bigger printers, there's assemblers, bigger shipyards, storage is all that. Let's talk about the smart storage because that is something that needs to be talked about. Okay, so the smart storage is a chest that lives on the blockchain. The items you have in it are going to be part of the metadata of the actual device. Now, some of your eyes just rolled because you don't understand any of this stuff. That's fine. You don't really have to. What you have to understand is a smart storage is a deep storage. It does not interact very fast with anything, and it doesn't interact with any of your refineries. Your other chests do. Your other chests can, you saw the drop-down menu where we click the drop-down and we, let me just show you. If we're on the refinery here, we can click this drop-down and we can access any of our portable storages. You cannot access the smart storage, okay? You can't do that because it like some coding thing, whatever. Maybe they'll change that at some point. For now, I really don't care. Treat the smart storage like it is a cold storage for your valuables and call it a day. We just got some water ice, for example. Let's make some fuel. Here's how you make some fuel, chat. Here's how. Water ice, press max in a portable refinery, press start. In 20 seconds, we're gonna get some fuel. Your ships all run on fuel. Your network node that provides all the power to the base runs on fuel. This is the network node. You drag and drop some fuel in there. 500 D1 fuel has me good for, I believe it said it was like 3 days, something like that. And look, we're seeing the power usage here. We're not even close to how much it is. Maximum capacity is 1,000. We're at 500. So you can't have an infinite base, but you can make stuff, turn this off, turn this on, turn this off, turn this on. You know, you can see the power usage here. Easy stuff. It's really not difficult. The menus are just a little rough because we're in alpha. We have 2 days and 3 hours remaining on 500 fuel. Guess what I'm going to do with this extra fuel? I'm going to throw it into the network node. So you might find somebody's base is unpowered, just like in games like Dune Awakening and very similar stuff, if you go there and you can loot their stuff. Okay, so it's just something about there. 3,571 fuel gives about 12 days. There it is. There it is. There are corps and guilds. You can join your own corp. You can make your own corps. You can do whatever the heck you gonna do, okay? You can definitely do those things. So I'm gonna show you how to use fuel. Let's put that in the right chest. And then after we show you how to use fuel, that's that. So in order to use fuel, you have to have it in your ship's inventory and you're gonna drag and drop it right here. Boop, now we can go back out, okay? We're gonna keep like, I don't know, let's keep like 600 of this fuel in my little gear container here because this is my like other modules. We're gonna show those to you in just a sec. I'm gonna put the rest in my network node. And then I think we're done talking about base building, chat. I think now you just have to go out and experience it yourself. Let's drag and drop this fuel in to this, boop, and now it's gonna go from 2 days up to like 5 days, maybe even 6 days. What I want you to see, you can make the base however you want. You can build as much items within the power grid as possible. You just have to fuel it. You can craft what you want, and yes, the game does get grindy because it's a survival game. This is where your buddies can show up and help you make stuff. Somebody can be going to go get carbon. Somebody's going to get metal rich ore. These are other ores in the game. Somebody's going to get common ore. Somebody's patrolling in a combat ship, and they're doing those things. There's a lot of different stuff that you can do, okay? Let's talk about ships and fittings and how you can do this. It's just like in EVE where there's different ships. The refuge is like a ship hangar where you can put different ships in there. What I recommend you do is your base progression should be something to the effect of like, so you start brand new, you are in a wind, okay? You're in a wind. You get your first like base. You get your first base with like quotes around it. You're crafting stuff, you're making stuff. Then you get a reflex. After you get the reflex, you can get a network node. That's the thing you just saw that powers everything. That's the start of your bigger base. After you make the network node, you try to rush the recurve. And you can do this by getting other inventory pieces, other stuff. And then once you get the recurve, you're gonna PvP fit your reflex. Okay, your first ship that you had, you're gonna PvP fit your reflex. because now you have a gatherer and a defender should stuff go south. That's my recommendation. If you want to see us literally do that live, it took about 6 hours. The game has a lot to it, chat, even in alpha, a lot of stuff to play. You can go watch the live stream of that we did. It's featured on our YouTube channel. Thank you for that. So that's what I would say about fits and various things. Fitting in this game is very similar to Eve. Where you have a fitting window, you have a power grid, and what the hell called CPU. There's no capacitor. You have to kind of figure that out yourself. The capacitor works differently. That's all I'll say for now, because there's some stuff there and just you got to figure it out yourself. We need to talk about fuel and engines. You'll notice this slot here. This isn't a rig. This is an engine. It's called the Sojourn. Runs on hydrogen fuel, which is this D1 or D2 fuel. Okay, so Sojourns let you have to have one of these in every single ship. The Wend starts with a small one and uses crappy fuel. This is the fuel on the recurve. It fills your capacitor. With this fuel, you can jump systems. You go to your map. You see I'm here. All of those yellow dots, you can click this gear and go to jump range. And you can see if I right click this, it says it's overheated. I can jump using jump drive. I can, but it's an overheated system. Let's talk about heat and what that means. Heat is this right here. It's this bar right here. Okay. Right here. What this is, the closer I get to the sun, the more that's going to increase. You get heated too much, you can't jump to other systems. How do you remedy this? You can go to the outskirts of solar systems where you can go closer to ice planets as well. Being close to an ice planet does reduce your heat. There's a lot to this game, chat. It's pretty sick. And when you run out of stuff in your solar system, so like, let's say I mine out this whole solar system, I'm good to go. I can press M with full fuel, of course, and then I can choose a system to jump to. So like this one, this is also overheated. I can't jump to those because they're a little bit too far. Let's try this one. This one says overheated. I'm mid-warp, so it doesn't say jump. But I can jump to any of these, I think. Are these all overheated? My God, I'm surrounded by hot stuff. See, it says outside fuel range. How you can get more range is you get bigger ships with more fuel. That's going to take bigger shipyards. You're going to have to make frigates instead of corvettes, etc. So it all kind of slowly builds up and goes from there. I recommend if you're with buddies that you stick with a reflex for exploring. That's your corvette, and then go to other frigates from there. So it's pretty interesting seeing how deep this game already is, and the game isn't even out yet. Okay, so we talked about how to start, how to begin. You mine your stuff, you craft your things, and you get out into the frontier. And if some of this felt a little bit vague or too fast, it's because, quite frankly, I need you to get out there and do it yourself. Experience the Frontier Riders. Check it out. Use my code in the description. And if you want more Eve Frontier guides, we're going to put them in this playlist right here, baby. We're going to keep that stuff going. We're going to make sure to make similar infotainment that we've been making for EVE Online or EVE Frontier. And if you want the best EVE Frontier and EVE Online guides, sub right here. We'll see you in the next video. Thanks very much.